Hey, do you still have that property on Ridge Street?
Do I own a property on Ridge Street?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Reason for my call, I'm sure you've seen some of the signs out there, but we've had a lot of people moving in and out of the neighborhood recently. Have you guys ever had thoughts about selling?
Yeah, I mean, we're probably within a year, probably of selling.
Okay. Where do you plan to move to?
We're not sure, probably yet.
Okay. Have you guys gotten a valuation done on the home recently just to see how much it would sell for?
Yeah, I got a friend in the business, so that's who I would use. But yeah, we're not quite to that point yet.
Right.
So we're probably in it within a year's time frame.
Okay.
But he's kind of told us roughly where we're at. So
Okay. And he's a real estate agent?
yeah, he is.
Okay. Perfect. Well, as long as you guys are taken care of, that's all that matters. But yeah, definitely take a look at the valuation a year out. And what I tell people is if you've got kind of the option of when to sell instead of like, oh, we need to sell at this time, that means you got an opportunity to choose the best time to sell for the most profit.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. Okay. Sounds good. I need to order lunch. Thank you for your call.
You bet. Have a great one. So on a call like that, what I want to do, I should have asked for the realtor's name just to see if it was actually legit, but learning. So that would be a good one to do. Talk to him, wasn't interested, year out. I don't know if I'm going to do an appointment. Let's do, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to send him an email. Yeah, so he's got an email on file here. I'm going to go ahead and send him one that says no contact. Okay, so it's just got my personalized details on there that he can look over and hopefully save and get back in touch if he's serious. So that's kind of that. Yeah, Mr. Hendricks. Hey, Bradley Godsell here with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Bassett Real Estate. Hey, I was going to see, first off, I want to make sure this is right. Do you still have a property on Rick Street?
Yeah.
Well, we've been moving people in and out of that neighborhood quite a bit here recently. I'm sure you've seen some of the signs. Have you guys had thoughts about selling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Are you guys, do you need to sell or were you planning to move? You have an agent already?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. Well, hey, that's why I was calling, just to make sure you're taken care of. I'll go ahead and adjust my notes. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Bye. Same one. Again, I didn't ask. I'm not used to asking for the name. So that's why I'm kind of screwing up on that. Not really screwing up, just not getting the best advantage. So I need to. But same thing, he does have an email here. So I'm going to go ahead and send one. Has all my details. Okay, let's keep moving.
This is Kinsey.
Hey, Kinsey, Bradley here. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Bassett Real Estate.
Hi.
Hey, real quick, I didn't know, I want to make sure this is correct. Do you still have a property on Patterson Drive?
No, that's my parents' home.
Parents' home. Got it. Okay. Well, we were just calling to see if they were planning on selling anytime soon. I don't know if you knew about that.
No, that would be a conversation to have with them, not me.
Sure. Okay. No problem at all. Well, I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I put, I should put bad number on there. So it's Is it a bad number? I think if it's a bad number, it still sends them an email with all my information. If they have.
This is Mark. Please leave a message. Thanks.
So when I leave a message, which I can hit a button and it just leaves a pre-recorded message for them.
Hi, you've reached Joanne. Sorry that we can't take your call. Please leave a number.
Pre-recorded message for them. They can listen to and get back to me. It also drops them an email if it's available with my information as well. A lot of people don't use the email option on here because I don't think they're aware of it, but it is very handy. In fact, they'll even show you when people open those. So every day you'll get a report that just shows the people that actually opened your email, which is pretty cool. The open rate's really high, actually.
Leave a message.
At the tone,
You got to be thinking about how you sound over the phone. You know, if you hear a good song, you're kind of like, you know, I kind of want to listen to this longer. And so you have this maybe 51% inclination to be more positive to continue the conversation versus if you sound kind of boring, then you have a much lower percent that they'll be inclined to continue the conversation, even if they don't like the dialogue that's going on, right? Inflection and tone, how you, linguistics, I think they call it, tonality, tempo, things like that. Not saying I'm a pro, but it's something I'm learning.
Hello. No one is available to take your...
And I've tested, I do data on all of my sessions. And when I... Hello, Don?
hello?
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Hines.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Hines, this is Bradley Godsell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate.
Yes.
Hey, real quick, I want to make sure this is correct. Do you still have a property on Patterson Drive?
Well, it's been sold.
Has it been sold? That's why I was asking. I didn't know if you guys already sold that. How long ago was that?
Oh, dear. I don't know. It sold within 24 hours. What day did we sell this house? Oh, gosh. Tim McGee's our realtor with Berkshire.
Oh, I love Tim. Good guy. Well, I guess I shouldn't make him positive. Was it a good experience?
Yes.
Good.
And may I ask why you are calling?
Well, I didn't know if you still had that property. And if so, I was going to see if you guys were looking to sell it. But if you've already sold it, then I guess that's all that matters.
Yeah, it was sold back in, let's see. I want to say the 18th or 19th.
Oh, it was that recent?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys end up moving to?
We're moving to Phoenix.
Oh, my gosh. You guys are going to enjoy the nice weather, I'm sure.
Yes.
Well, good deal. Hey, I won't keep you from getting to Phoenix. I'll let you go here, but thank you for letting me know that. I'll go ahead and update my notes, and I'm glad Tim gave you a great experience.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. So saying, yeah, tonality, tempo. Yeah, when I switch that up, the tone and tempo, and the attitude going to the call, like I'm getting an appointment, I'm your friend, I'm your realtor, we're going to have fun together and do business together. That's my mentality. My results shot through the roof.
Hi, this is Barb. Sorry I missed your call.
Shot through the roof. So when you track your data, you're able to add one variable and see how it does. That's when you can understand what's working and what's not and build off of that. Most people do.
Hi, you've reached the Morse. We're not home right now, so please leave a message and we'll be.
Most people don't track their information or don't have a way to do it. I did not have a way to really logistically do it. And so I spent, I'm not kidding, probably, I spent over a month working on my data input spreadsheet with Excel, a lot of sleepless nights putting that together. And not only does it tell me, my conversion here, but it's telling me what times of day I'm getting the best results, which is more important than I think we put precedence on, because I am getting 3 to 4 times better results during certain times a day than other times a day, which means that
Potter.
Can't take your
which
call.
means I'm saving myself possibly 3 hours of the same amount of work if I were to do it at a better time. Again, this is my livelihood. This is my everything. This is my craft. This is my skill set that I am developing. And if that's the case, then I'm going to do it at the most 100% level I could possibly do it at, and leave no stone unturned and make sure that I myself and everything else isn't a variable, it's a constant, meaning I've figured out all the variables that work, and now there are just constants that work the best, period. And that is what we are discovering as we go through this. This is my 7th week of attempts at this type of sales. I've done on average 500 to 600 calls per week. My goal is 700 a week. Honestly, I didn't realize there was so much salesmanship involved in these calls. I thought it was just a numbers game, and that's it. And that's it. However, 2 weeks ago, I listened to my coaches make a call, and it was like really kind of intense, amazing salesmanship. And I'm like, wow. I asked her, I said, if I wasn't here, would you have actually gone that far on that call and like really pushed for the appointment? She got the appointment. She said, absolutely. That's the way it always is. Like, I didn't know that's what we were supposed to be doing here. Like actually, trying our hardest, as silly as that sounds. But
Hello?
yes, Miss Taylor.
No.
Oh, I might have the wrong number. I'm just going to double check. Do you have a property on Patterson Drive by chance?
I mean, that's my parents.
It might be that. Yeah, I have a Mark Thaler. Sorry about that. The reason for a call, this is Bradley with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. I was checking to see if they had any plans to move, and if so, if we could help out with that. I don't know if you had any details.
No, they're not moving.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's the reason for the call. So sorry about that. I'll adjust my notes. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now I put bad number on that one instead of not doing that. The reason being is, we don't want to have that miscommunication if we can avoid it. Saves everybody time. You're not going to get some.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss Flott.
May I ask who's speaking?
Of course. This is Bradley Godsell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Ambassador Real Estate.
Okay.
I was just calling about the property on Orchard Ave. I'm not sure if you folks still have that, but we actually have been moving people in and out of there quite a bit lately. I'm sure you've seen some of the signs. Have you had any thoughts about selling?
No,
No plans.
we don't at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. So she has no plans to sell. I would have tried to have a little bit more probing questions like, oh, that's great. I'm glad you guys found a good place. Did you have any plans to move at any point? But kind of seemed like she was put off. No plans to move. So I have a no plans to move email that I'm going to go ahead and send out to the 2 email addresses that I see here on file. And it has all my details, and it just says, hey, it sounds like you don't have any plans to move. If you ever need anything, let me know, type of thing. But it's got all my details and whatnot. Contact. But yeah, 2 weeks ago, I heard my coach make that call. I was like, wow, I really need to step up my game. And so that next week, I got better results. And then.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Miller, this is Bradley Godsell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate.
Okay.
Hey, I want to make sure this is correct first. Do you still have that property on Orchard Ave?
That's where we live.
Perfect. It's the reason for the call. We actually moved some people in and out of there this last month, close to 30 people in the last 60 days. Did you have any plans to sell?
No.
Okay. No plans to sell. Well, I'm glad you guys found a good place for you. It's been a great neighborhood for people getting in and out of there. I'm sure you guys have enjoyed it. How long have you guys been there? Okay, so he hung up. But that would be an example of kind of moving the conversation forward. He does have an email. A lot of people have emails here. That's interesting. No plans to move email, send, and move on. So my goal is to get an appointment with them to do a valuation on their home, get an update on how much it could sell for and the profits that they would keep. What we have found is out of 100 phone calls, 15 pick up. Out of 250 phone calls, you get one appointment. As long as you're doing all these best practices at a minimum, or the best practices that we're aware of.
Hi, you've reached the Schrotters. We're not available to take your call right now. Please leave your name.
Hi, sorry, guys. Just leave your name number and I'll call you.
However, if you're
Call
not,
has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
however, if you're not doing the best practices, then you will not expect to make that. You'll be spending a lot of time spinning your wheels, is what I found my first 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 4.5, something like that. I was also setting very loose appointments. I thought that, just be like, hey, well, you know what? I'll stop by, would this time work? And after getting with my coaches again very recently, I've realized that no, that's not what this is about. This is a very important appointment. We're talking about their home, the largest investment that they have, the thing that's making money under their feet. See, I can just spin this stuff off right away. It's because I've been role playing and working on my craft and just honing it in. That way there's no breaks and ums and likes. I had so many ums and likes. I would listen to my calls. That's another thing, is reviewing not only the data, but reviewing your calls and going, wow, I sound boring. And I can't tell you enough that I would say, wow, I sound boring. And I cannot believe it, because I would just be so casual with my stuff. And if I sound casual about it, it means I don't really take my job too seriously, possibly, or my profession, and I'm not taking them too seriously and what's going on. But the more presence I put on it, the more seriousness I put on it, the more they realize, like, wow, this is actually kind of a big deal, and they take it serious, and it implants into their brain the option that I'm providing for them much more effectively than just a might as well check type of thing.
You have reached the voicemail box of 402714.
So my goal in this session, there's 183 numbers. It's going to take me about an hour and 45 minutes to get through those if I don't have too many meaningful conversations. During that time, I am looking to set an appointment. If you look at my whiteboard, I have one goal and one goal only: appointment. That's it. That's the whole point of the call. Set up an appointment. Set up an appointment. Let's get together. Let's take a look.
We can't answer the phone right now. Please leave your name and number, and we'll return your call.
And if you have that end goal very specifically set in your mind, it is that much easier in conversation to set little tones and words that only are leading you to that goal.
650.
And it is a filter. We're filtering out people that aren't very serious, but we're making sure that the people that could be serious but are putting up the front, or are serious and putting up a front, to let their guard down and allow us to get with them, right? And that is the real trick of the trade, and that requires a lot of very skilled salesmanship. And I was not aware of that, or maybe I made the excuse to not be aware of it and oblivious to it, ignorant to it until recently. Sometimes you make that switch of going, you know what? I'm just sick of not getting what I want, and you do whatever it takes to get it. That's kind of where I was at. We've had 5 contacts out of 35 calls. One of which was, and then one of them I counted as a bad number, so 6 contacts really, but.
You have reached the voicemail box of 4.
But really, I counted one of them also 4 decent contacts out of this. It takes an hour to get through 100 phone calls typically, on average. As long as you don't have any crazy meaningful conversations. Again, 250 phone calls yields you an appointment. What we've found is 5 appointments. 2 will cancel, 3 will stick, 1 will, I'm not sure if it's 1 will sign or 1 will be selling pretty soon
0, 2, 6, 7.
versus further down the road. I would imagine 2 sign if I was a betting man, but can't remember the stat on that, and I'm not experienced enough to know my own data. Last week I said 2 appointments, already did 1, they signed, but they're not looking to sell quite right away, maybe next year.
Oh,
Yeah, Frank.
yeah.
Hey, Frank, it's Bradley Godtell here. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate.
Yeah.
Hey, first I want to double check on this because things have been flying out there. Do you still have a property on Orchard Ave?
Let me get a long time you stay here.
You guys are planning to stay. Well, how long you guys been there?
Well, we've been here a while, but I'm getting ready to get in the shower. Really, honestly, not interested in
Okay.
purchasing anything new
Okay.
or selling. So
All right, fair enough. Hey,
insurance, and I know time is money, so just let you know.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're
Yeah,
good.
I'm not in the market at all.
You're good, brother. I appreciate your candor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
So he's going to get the no plans to move. See how you thank them? I mean, he was trying to say, hey, time is money, and I just want to, whatever. And I tell him I appreciate that. That's a good thing. It's a good guy. I do appreciate that. Having that positive attitude on every single phone call, understanding that, well, I guess having the mindset of getting something good out of everything that you.
Good, Joe.
Hey, Joe, Bradley here, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm hoping the sun pops out. It is Nebraska. You never know. So that's my bet right now. But
Yeah, we've had a couple of good days. Looks like this week's going to be nice.
yeah. Well, it's good. We deserve it after that horrible winter we had. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Hey, Joe, I don't want to take up much of your time today, but do you still have that property on O Circle? I think it is. Is it O?
What's that?
Do you have a property on O Circle 16911?
My parents do.
Your parents do. Okay. Yeah, I've got a couple of people say that.
Yep.
Well, reason for the call, I guess, is twofold since it's your parents. Is number one, we've just had a lot of people move in and out of that neighborhood recently and really all of Omaha. But we wanted to see if they had any plans to sell. And then I guess since I got you on the phone, if you guys had any thoughts about selling something that we could help out with in the next couple of years.
Not that I know of right now.
I gotcha. Are you guys in Omaha?
Yes, yep. We're north of.
North. Oh, very cool. How long you been there?
About a year.
About a year. I gotcha. Good neighborhood, good things,
we
or
don't have any plans on moving anywhere.
I gotcha. Fair enough. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Love to stay in touch in case anything does change or if you hear anything out there. I don't know if this is right. You let me know. I've got.
Yeah, what is it for?
Well, if you guys are ever planning to sell down the road, or if you hear anybody that's looking to sell, I would love to have the opportunity to value their home, give them some options, and just help them out. You know what I mean? Or if you know anybody looking to buy too, I suppose. I just want to be a realtor that you have access to at any time if you ever need anything.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. I'll send you my details. Thank you for letting me know that. I'll update my notes and you enjoy your day, okay?
No problem. Thanks.
Bye-bye. So that's the first time I've actually gone in with asking them if they want to sell. I think it was a pretty good approach saying, well, now my question is kind of twofold. Number one, boom. Number two, boom. Maybe I separate them the next time. Number one, it's this.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Ross.
Yes.
Mr. Ross, this is Bradley Godtell, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Don't call me.
All right, you got it. So I put them in the do not contact because, let's save everybody time. You know what I mean? The less time you spend on calls that are going to go nowhere, and the more time you spend on calls that are going to go somewhere, that's the ideal situation. So be able.
Hello?
Yeah, Eric?
Hello? Yes.
Eric, it's Bradley Godtell, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I want to make sure this is right first. Do you have a property on North Circle still?
North Circle.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not sure. Is that right?
In Circle.
Oh,
In
geez.
Circle.
Oh, man, I'm sure that mistake gets made a lot. It's like that big N. You're like, oh, well, that's got to be North, right? In Circle. I apologize. Hey, Eric, the reason for the call, I'm sure you've seen the signs out there. We've been moving people in and out for a while. Have you guys ever had thoughts about selling?
Not right now. No, we're on about a 4-year plan. So.
Oh, 4-year plan. I get you. I guess, when would you like me to follow back up with you on that, if that's the case?
My daughter graduates high school in 4 years.
4 years? Okay. I can put that down. How long you guys been there?
3 years, I believe.
How's the neighborhood been? We've got a lot of people moving in this last month, and we just put some up for sale. Pretty good place.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of installing the air conditioner, so I really can't talk right now. But
You got it. I totally appreciate that. I've got a note, and you're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
So he was still on the phone, so I couldn't say anything. But for that one, he didn't have an email, but he sounded like, a good prospect down the road. And you never know. People just kind of put you off sometimes. So I created this system where, and it's for sale.
That does not accept solicitations. If you
So no contact on that one. I don't want to mess with it. Which, by the way, I have for.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss Fute.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss Fute.
Who am I speaking to?
This is Bradley Godsell with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. Hey, by the way, how do you pronounce your last name? I don't want to mess it up. I'm sorry.
It's pretty simple.
Foot. Oh, I'm sure you get that a lot, right? It's like, well, it's actually just Foot. Hey, reason for the call. First, I want to make sure this is right. Do you still have a property on In Circle?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've been moving.
And no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in selling it right now.
Selling it right now.
I'm sure that's why you're calling.
It is actually. That's exactly why I'm calling. Hey.
And I'm not interested in selling right now.
Okay, no problem. Is there a better time that I can follow up with you, whether it's a few years down the road? What do you think would be best?
You know what? When that time comes, I actually have several friends that are in the industry. So
Perfect. Well, that makes sense. I'll go ahead and update my notes. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yep. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. So I have 2 emails here. I'm going to go ahead and send both of them. No plans to move, email, and move on. What I was saying is, if I have somebody that I want to actually follow up with, I'll go ahead and do this little thing where it saves their contact information into my CRM. It sends them a welcome email. It sends them all my details, and it sends them property updates if anything gets sold in their area, so they just know what the. Hello, Miss Simile.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss Simile.
Yes.
Hey, this is Bradley Godsell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Investor Real Estate.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I want to make sure this is correct first. Do you still have a property on M Circle?
I do.
Okay. Well, that's the reason for the call. We actually been moving people in and out of there quite a bit lately. I'm sure you've seen some of the signs. Had you guys ever had any thoughts of selling?
Potentially, but but my house is nowhere near ready
Okay.
to be put on the market.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. What makes you want to sell?
What's that?
What's got you thinking about selling, I guess?
What's making me think about it?
Yeah.
Well, all my kids are getting older. I just have one left in high school. And so eventually I'll probably want to just get something. I mean, it's not a huge house, but something even smaller.
Right. I get you. You said you still got one in high school?
Yes.
Senior, junior, or you got a little longer?
He's a sophomore. He'll be a junior next year. So.
Very good. Okay. Well, fair enough. Yeah, we never know until we call, but if you've got something that you're looking to work towards at that time, what I tell people is if you don't need to sell, you have the most power because you can choose when to sell. And if you know the most profitable time or the most profitable updates to do or not do, that'll give you the power to basically save your money or profit the most. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Now, I know it's going to be a few years for you before anything like that happens, but let me ask you, have you had anybody do a revaluation on the property just to see how much it's worth?
No, I just go off of with the county assessor.
Okay.
You know.
Yep. So the county assessor, usually, not always, and it's different per neighborhood, but what we found in Omaha is generally 15% lower than the sale price. Okay.
Okay.
And basically what we're offering for that neighborhood is just getting a chance this week to go over what the property's worth now, what it's been trending, and where it's trending to go. And then you can take that information and use it however you'd like. But it also gives us a chance to just introduce ourselves and whatnot. But really, having that information is never too early. We're trying to set up times either at 2:30 or 6:30 p.m. just to go over that. Is there a day this week that would work best for one of those times?
Well, I'm a school principal.
Oh, wow.
And my secretary just had a death in her family.
Oh, my
that's going
God.
to cause her to be gone. So this week is not good at all.
Yeah, you're slammed.
And even actually through the middle of next week because it's a long story, but she's going to be gone until later next week, and that's just because then it's a small school, so then everything's on me.
Yep.
So
no, I can only imagine. That must be really tough to have to take on all that stuff.
It can be.
Oh man, I mean, you already have so many responsibilities as a principal, and then for something unfortunate you can't control, but I can only imagine what that does to your schedule. So totally.
Yeah, it tightens it up. Yeah.
Well, hey, that makes complete sense, and I respect that. Let's go ahead. If it's okay with you, would you like me to follow up in 2 weeks, and we can reassess that for you?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. And that is something you'd be interested in to know.
Yeah, I'd be interested in finding out that would be very interesting to me, actually.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, because sometimes we get with folks and they go, wow, yeah, maybe I shouldn't sell for quite a while or move when I was thinking. And then other times they go, it might be inconvenient, but if I look at the numbers, it might make sense. But that's for you to decide. All I can do is provide the information. Anyways, I know you got 1,000 things you got going on right now, especially coming off of Easter, I can only imagine. So let me put in my notes. I'll just follow up in 2 weeks if that's okay with you. And we'll try to set a time that works best. And then I didn't catch your first name. I have a Mark here. All right, we got Mary. And then Mary, is there a best email I can send you my information in case you want to reach out?
Sure. Correct.
And the property is 16906. And then we'll follow up in 2 weeks. I do appreciate you taking the time for this.
Oh, thank you.
You bet.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'm not going to say I'm impressed with myself, but that was pretty dope. So I've got this system. It sends them a text. So right now, it sends them a text. It puts them in the customer relation management tool we have. It gets all these updates I was mentioning, but it does it all like that. So all I have to do is just type in a little bit of info, hit next, and it does everything that's my contact. So if you have lists you're calling off of and you would like something like that, please get a hold of me. I'll set it up, and it's just a monthly subscription. For me, it saves me approximately 3 hours a day. So I'm able to use that for prospecting instead of just administrative work. Pretty cool. Sounds like you are interested in getting actually, no, I'm going to start off that a little bit differently. See how I said it must be tough dealing with that? That's something I've learned is saying a question that way. I don't have enough time to get into it, but instead of being like, wow, that must be rough. Like, it sounds like that would be really tough to deal with. Something like that. Crap, what am I doing? I'm going to say, I was going to say, I know it must be rough, but no, I can only imagine the amount of extra work you have going on in this unique situation with the unfortunate, I should be more respectful, going on the unfortunate event your secretary is having to cope with at this time. Thankfully you're doing what you can to take on the extra load to help in helping everyone. I will follow up 2 weeks from today and help you with the real estate strategy. Smiling. So that little note that I just made there gets inserted into a text. So it says, this regular format of information like, hey, I just sent you a couple emails, check your spam, blah, 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 blah. And then it goes into what I just typed, and then it has some follow-up stuff down below with my information and my little contacts. So you can save all that stuff. And there's going to email her and save her and all this good stuff. Would I count that as an appointment? I'm not really sure. No, I wouldn't, because it's a follow-up to an appointment. But it's pretty good. That's a lead, right? That would be a lead.
You've reached 894-5421. Please leave a message and we'll...
So I try to stand up and make my calls because it changes. It changes the energy that gets put through the phone.
Been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 4.
And also on that call, you notice how I said, would that actually be something you want to listen to? Now, if she would have said no, then I would have known that she's really not serious. But even if she was thinking yes, it puts more emphasis on how important the meeting is because I'm checking to see if it's even real or not. Like I'm kind of testing her, which if she was thinking kinda, now she's thinking, no, yes, I would. You got to take it away from people just a little bit, see if they'll actually bite again. Man, I had forgotten about how I used to do that all the time in my previous business. So I had a previous.
My talking window, I'm sorry, let me go answer your phone call.
So I had a previous business that I spent 7 years on, day and night. I mean, you name it. And I became very successful towards the end of it. Had some unfortunate events happen between business and family stuff that it just all fell apart. And so I had to restart my life with real estate is what I chose eventually. Took a couple years off, and I've lost so many sales skills because I just forgot what I really learned because it was just second nature. And now I'm realizing all these things that I used to do that now I'm realizing that I should be doing. And it's interesting. I used to take the opportunity away from people all the time, and it would only draw them in closer if they were somewhat serious. It made a somewhat serious person into really serious. You know. So I'm just having this nuance right now. Like
You have reached the voicemail box of.
I'm thinking of how I can take it away in different ways. I'll probably have to think of some.
Paul Douglas here.
Hey, Paul, Bradley here, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Master Real Estate.
Okay.
Hey, I want to make sure this is correct first. Do you still have property on Karen Street?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, hey, that's the reason for the call. I'm sure you've seen people moving in and out of there quite a bit lately. I just want to see, have you guys had any thoughts of selling?
No, we're good where we're at.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's good you found a place that you like. How long have you guys been there?
15 years.
Oh,
I gotta
damn.
go. Okay, I'm on another call.
Hey, don't worry about it. I appreciate you.
Bye.
So I'm catching a lot of people that have to go pretty quickly, but there's only been 11 contacts. That's not a lot of data. That has been the case for maybe 40%.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss Dahl.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Dahl. This is Bradley Godsell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Master Real Estate. Hey, I wanted to check first. Do you still have a property on Karen Street by chance?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've just been moving people in and out of there quite a bit lately. I'm sure you've seen some of the signs. Had you guys had any thoughts of selling?
No, thanks anyway.
Hey, no problem. Obviously, we wasn't really having it. You gotta understand, we're looking for the best practices for each type of call. The best practice for someone not having it is to get them off the phone in a polite way. Less time you spend with those people, the more time you can spend with the right people. It's a filter. It's not a funnel. We're not trying to force something in a certain way. We're trying to filter the people that aren't interested out.
Hi, you've reached the listeners. Please leave your name and number.
Keep in mind, a solid appointment is 250 phone calls.
Please record your message to 40.
250 phone calls. We're only at 66 phone calls right now. We've been dialing for about 45 minutes. Something about tone is you want to sound like you're inviting. I mean, even saying that feels good. Inviting people in to something versus asking. Or telling. NLP, neuro-linguistics programming, I think it is. Neuro-linguistics programming, NLP. Kevin Ward does a good thing on NLP. I think he underplays it. I'm not saying he underplays it. I think there's more information about it than he even goes into. He just tries to.
Well, hello.
Miss Seiler,
Excuse me?
is this Miss Seiler?
Yes, it is.
Hey, and this is Bradley with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. I'm sorry. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't want to mess that up.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Hey, Ms. Eiler, the reason for the call is, number one, I want to make sure this is correct first. Do you still have a property on Karen Street?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, we've been moving people in and out of there a lot lately, and I'm sure you've seen the signs. I've worked with some of the neighbors in the past. Have you had any thoughts about selling?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. I understand. We never know until we call just to get that information. It's good,
Sure, yeah.
good that you guys found something. Do you guys plan to move in the future?
Potentially within the next 5 years.
Next 5 years? Okay. Is that?
Yep, the kids be out of school.
Oh, okay. I understand. Well, that makes sense. When would be the best time to just follow up with you on that? That would be most conducive for you guys to get ahead of the game.
I'd say, because we're ready to even start thinking about it yet, so
Maybe in 2 years or
I don't think
3
we're ready to
years?
do it this time.
Okay.
Probably 3.
3 years? Okay. That way we get ahead of it just a little bit. Okay. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and put in our notes that 3 years from now, just check in, see if it's a better time, and go over that information. I do have an email here, but I don't know if it's correct. Questions at all, you can always reach out. The only other thing I have that goes out that you can let me know if this would be helpful is if a house does sell in the neighborhood, or any homes do, I send out a monthly email with the list of all of them with the prices and the pictures, just so you can kind of get an update on what the values are doing. Would you want to be on that monthly email?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. And was it Lena?
Yes.
Okay, Elena. Perfect. I got you down. Thank you for taking the time to explain that to
You
me.
bet. You bet.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So for them, I'm going to move Lena to primary email. And then I'm going to put it through that tool that I use that, again, I'm selling. Price-wise, honestly, it's kind of conducive to how much time it's really saving you and what it does for you and how much you're using it. But it's just a setup fee, and then very minimal. We're talking maybe $100 to set up. And then after that, it could range between $50 to $300 a month, just depending on what we negotiate is the best for your business. You know, it's saving me 3 hours a day. Not only is it saving me 3 hours a day, but it gives me an opportunity to spend that time making calls, which makes me profit. So I can only imagine how much I'm really getting out of the tool. Okay, got that. Sounds, oops, wrong computer. Sounds like you are more open to evaluating your options in 3 years. And I will be sure to check in per your request so you are taken care of properly. Save. I'm gonna go ahead and send an email to Brian. No plans to move. Send, and then for her, she'll get my standard email and everything else. Click. I'll follow it up in my system on those updates I just mentioned. Everything transferred perfectly. And it's got a text ready to be sent out as soon as I click it with all that info. I don't need to type anything. It's already done. And it's all personalized. I mean, that's the value of having that tool that I'd love to help you out with. Like, it's helped me and many other people. Pretty incredible what technology can do if you're able to figure out the back end of it.
Hello. Bill is currently unable to take your call. Please call Todd Cotter.
It was not easy creating this tool. It took, unbelievable amount of time.
4028956.
But my thought is always do something that will work for you forever. And although it took a lot of time out of my making money time, it now is paying over tenfold for the rest of my life. Pretty incredible. Yeah. Think about
You
it.
have reached the voicemail box of 4026.
Think about it. I would have had to create notes after that call, either later today or right then. I would have had to type them into a lead into my system, or copy and paste them into a different spreadsheet maybe, and make sure the notes transfer over there. And then I would have had to type up a text, to be able to send out later if I wanted to. Would have had to customize an email templates and send it to them with their name. All these things. And I don't have to do any of that and just move on to the next call, and it does all of that for me. The other thing is, what we found is, even if I didn't have this tool, I wouldn't do half of those things to follow up most of the time, because you revisit the list and you're like, honestly, they weren't that serious, and I got to go to lunch, or I got to go to do this. I'll get to it tomorrow, and you never do. And so you don't send them a text, you don't send them an email, you don't put them in your system, or you only do one out of the three, versus now it's not a variable. You do everything to the best automatically without even having to think about it. So think about all the people that are just as good as me over the phone doing the best practices, but they don't have any of that follow-up mastered, or can't do as much over the phone because they have to spend time doing that.
Box of 40221.
In my last business, I was in the 0.01% category of accomplishment. So that means 1 out of 10,000 people would have reached my level in the business. So you got to think, am I doing what 1 out of 100 do, which is very impressive? Am I doing what 1 out of 1,000 do, which is unbelievable? And then 1 out of 10,000, which is not even comprehensible. And if you're doing things that are not even comprehensible to humans, then I suppose you're doing something good, So something to think about. I'm not married anymore. I don't have any kids. I don't have a relationship currently. All I do.
Hi, you've reached Sam Hargrave. Sorry, I was up.
All I do is this, and I'm trying to fit in my workouts. I did a bodybuilding competition, men's classic physique, 2 years ago. I've been struggling to get back into a good flow with that. I was in a relationship that she was fast food all the time, very business. I loved her for her business mind, but we just didn't connect on some other things. And but one of the things was, fast food all the time, drinks all the time. And I'm a social person, so it was easy for me to say yes. And I kind of lost shape, and then got back into shape. And then I took on this project for real estate very seriously. And when you take something so serious, it's very difficult to put anything else in your life. However, I'm getting very close to being able to do that and get back into contest shape. And
Hello?
yeah, is this Sampy?
No. This is her husband.
I'm so sorry. I just had that name here. This is Bradley with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. I was curious if you all still had that home on home circle.
Yes.
Well, the reason for the call is real simple. We just moved 30 different people in and out of that neighborhood in the last 60 days between Lakeshore and Autumn Ridge and Hawthorne. Anyways, it's just been going great. Had you had any thoughts about selling?
Oh, man. Well, have you had any thoughts about getting married?
Right.
No. We are really not interested. Thank you for the call.
Oh, that's no problem. Were you guys planning to move down the road sometime?
It's not something on the agenda right now, so
Okay.
Look, mind talking about it. If it ever comes up, we'll know. We'll get hold of.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So he doesn't have an email on file, but I still want to send him something because, that was kind of a quick brush off, but he seemed like kind of a friendly dude. So I'm just going to say, sounds like you're looking to stay for a while. I do appreciate you allowing me to know that, and I'll update my notes. So he's still going to get my information via text and everything else customized like that. How freaking cool is that? And in my system, everything. Really neat. And then you remember that gal I asked her if it was okay to send properties out. Honestly, I'm still going to send them properties if I don't ask, and then they'll just unsubscribe if they don't like it. But it's a great way to keep in touch with people and make sure that they know that you care about them. But it's automatically sent out. It just shows the properties that have sold, all the details. Very helpful if you own a property in your neighborhood to know that. But I like to ask it because then it is more well received. The expectation is there. They did say yes to that.
You have reached the voicemail box of 4.
Now it kind of gives them the power to tell you no or yes, and it feels like there's some sort of connection they have with you to be able to give you that feedback as you move on in the relationship. We've been on the phone for close to an hour.
Hi, this is Pete Dennis. I can't make it to the phone right now. Please leave your name and number after the tone.
Close to an hour. We live for an hour and 5 minutes. Oh, that's how long I've been dialing. Maybe we have been dialing for an hour and 5. 82 calls, 14 contacts. I think 3 of them were, 15 contacts. We count the bad number. 3 of them were quote unquote bad numbers. It was the children. So really 12 real kind of contacts. So I suppose if it's 250 calls gets you an appointment, that would make it 30. Essentially,
Hi, this is Carrie. Leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
it would basically mean it'd take about 37 contacts to get an appointment. So 1 out of 37. Because it's 15 contacts per 100 phone calls. Right now we're sitting at 12 real contacts, 83 calls. Numbers are where it's at. My calling session typically is going to end at 1:30, but I may extend it. I might as well. Also with that tool, Mr. Leahy.
Yes.
Oh, Miss Leahy. Hey, it's actually Bradley Godtell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Master Real Estate.
Yes.
Hey, I just thought I'd give you a call here. Do y'all still have that property on H Circle by chance?
Yes.
Well, hey, we've been moving people in and out of there quite a bit lately. I'm sure you've seen some of the signs. Had you guys had any thoughts of selling?
No.
No plans to sell. Okay. Well, yeah, we never know until we call, but yeah, it's just been booming out there. Have you noticed some of the neighbors getting in and out?
Well, we're in a very small addition with only 13 lots, and I don't know. The last time I think a house sold was maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. You guys are in a more unique space, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know, is it got like its own neighborhood name there? I've just got like Lakeshore and Autumn Ridge.
It's the Point.
The Points. Oh, okay. Yeah, I must have had a little crossover
It's not
in there.
It's not Prairie Point. It's just the Point.
It's better than that. It's the Point. The Point.
Right. The Point, yeah.
The Point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. Hey, I never know until I call, like I said, but I'll update my notes. Yeah. I must have had a little crossover into that neighborhood, so I do apologize, but I'm glad you guys found a great spot.
Fine. Yeah, we did. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
I do have 2 emails here, so I'm going to go ahead and send them no plans to move. There we go. Oh, she was still on the call. Thankfully, I didn't say anything weird. But yeah, my list had a little crossover into that. I'm in it's a more ritzy, so to speak, neighborhoods in Omaha. But then there's some that are like crazy different, and B Point would be one of them. So I can see why that was there. But I wanted to kind of explain that to her so she didn't think like it's completely general. Yeah, Mr. Sean?
At the tone, please record your message. When you finish.
So if somebody picks up during this 3-line dialer and I'm on a call, it just makes a little sound and then hangs up. And then it calls them back when I'm finished with my call. It'll be the first one they call back, and then I'll be on the phone. A lot of people have it set up so that.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Soothide.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Bradley Godtell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Well, first off, I want to make sure. Is that how you pronounce your last name? I do not want to mess that up, but it's a tougher one.
It's Studite.
Studite?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is that like German or what is that?
Yep, it's German.
German. Okay. Well, I'm sure you get that a lot, but I don't want to be one of those guys to be the most part. But hey, real quick, I want to make sure this is correct. Do y'all still have a property on Inglewood Street?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we've been moving people in and out of there for quite some time. It's been a very popular neighborhood. Have you guys had any thoughts about selling?
I don't think so at the moment.
Okay. You have kids still in school, or I guess what's kind of the holdup for you at this time?
It's not something that's in the cards right now.
Okay. Would you want to?
I don't want to say really busy right now. The phone call is based on trying to sell this house.
Well, it's really based on making sure you sell it at the right time, because your property went up 3% in the last 2 months, but it's 5% in the last year. But most of that happened recently. And so there's different times to sell. And we just go over the numbers of where it's at, where it's trending, and give you some advice on when you could sell down the road. Or if you look at the numbers, maybe it might be something you do sooner. That's up to you. But
I got you. I really don't have time for this at the moment, but appreciate the phone call.
I do have an email, Studite.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome, Curtis. Thank you for giving me that time. I will send you my information. I look forward to meeting you guys at some point soon, okay?
All right, sounds good.
You bet. So I used to ask for the email. Now I kind of see if this is correct. I think that seems to be working better. So it's little things like that to just make sure you always have the best damn phone call you can possibly have. You can't change the outcome if you have the best damn responses, right? So I'm going to create a lead for him. Doesn't sound like he has any reason not to sell. But I don't know that. A lot of people hide the information that's the real info. So I'm going to say, sounds like you haven't given it. I don't know if I want to say that. Sounds like you could benefit from getting us sitting down and looking over the numbers and providing the best strategy to sell at the most profitable time of your choosing. I'm getting with people and I'm getting with folks there at either 2:30. This is going to be an interesting text. 2:30 p.m. or 6:30. You know what? I'm going to change it to 7. This guy told me 7, and I should probably just say 7. It's just I don't like working that late. But I should. Okay, so 2:30 or 7 p.m. Let me know a couple days that could work. Could work. Could work. So I can get you what you need to make the best choice when you do. I mean, just be like, no, we're going to have an appointment, and I want to help. And the more you can make it sound like that, the more it sounds like that, right? Doesn't that make sense? So I'm going to send that. And then I've got another email here. Oh, wow. I got 2. Send that. Boom. So like most people probably want to add him as a lead and do all the work that it takes to follow up with that person properly, or maybe you think it's not proper to do all that. But if I don't have to do any work and it does everything for me, might as well, right? And think about all those people that are on the fringes that you don't really know are on the fringes, and now you do that follow up and you have that much higher success rate. That was another thing we noticed. My coaches were like, wow, it sounds like you're getting way too many leads. That's something's wrong there. And I'm like, well, when you're inclined not to have to do anything, it's easier to create a lead. Like, that makes sense.
Can't take your call.
Because you got to prioritize your time. And if it doesn't take much time, then it's easier to prioritize it and fit it in, right? So we're sitting at 13, I think, legitimate contacts. 17 that I picked up the phone, but also that would make it 14. Yeah. 3 of them were the kids. $90 phone calls, 14 legitimate contacts. So, right, 15 in an hour, or 15 in 100 calls, which essentially is an hour. We're just over an hour right now.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Yeah, Miss Bekalek?
No?
Oh, sorry. Is this Corey?
What's that?
Is this Corey? I apologize.
No?
Ah.
This is Larry. I'm in Columbus.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry, man. I had the wrong number. My bad.
Okay.
Okay, so that was like a real bad, like actual bad number. Columbus, Nebraska, Columbus, Ohio. Either way, not somewhere I want to work with. Y'all catching Game of Thrones? I'd never seen it until like 2 months ago, and then I binged the whole thing because my buddy's like, "You got to," and I'm like, "All right." It is freaking sick. I truly think it is the greatest story.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss Green.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss Green. Can you hear?
Who's this?
This is Bradley Godtel with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Vascular Real Estate.
We're not looking, thank you.
Hey, no problem. Thank you. I don't know. Maybe there's a better response for that type of tone, but I just don't know if there is. Notice how I get up, again, your tone's in your posture. So I don't want to sit the whole time. In fact, I'm probably just going to keep standing here for a minute.
Hello?
You know what? I just dialed the wrong number. I'm so sorry.
Okay, bye.
The last name was D. It was a female answering instead of Michael. So I don't really have the best response for that at the moment, but I should have one. I should have one built for that because, it happens sometimes. Maybe it would be, I'm not sure if I dialed the right number. This is Bradley Real Estate. Do you have a property on blah? That'd probably be better. Not sure if I dialed the wrong number.
Hello?
Yeah, Miss Sibley. Hey, this is Bradley. Yeah, can you hear me?
Just barely. I'm sorry.
No, I apologize. This is Bradley Godtel with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Ambassador Real Estate.
Okay.
I want to make sure this is correct first. Do y'all still have property on 178th Street?
I do have their property there, yes.
Okay. Well, the reason for the call, we've been moving people in and out of there quite a bit lately, especially in the last 2 months. There's been 30 that have gone for sale. Have you had any thoughts about selling?
No, absolutely not. But thank you for calling.
Hey, not a problem. Never know until we do. So it's tough on those ones that are short. I do have an email, so I'm going to go ahead and send no plans to move type of email, my details, etc. Contact, yes. So that's not someone I put in as a lead. No, probably should actually. Might as well. Wonder if I can categorize them differently. I just don't want to, put these leads in thinking it was a meaningful conversation, because I have a tracker that converts or shows you the conversion of meaningful conversations.
Hi, this is Donna John. I'm sorry, we can't.
Yeah.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name.
And that wasn't a meaningful conversation, like a lead would be a meaningful conversation at some point. But if I can categorize it differently, knowing which ones were leads and which ones were just kind of good follow-ups, because I want them to get that monthly email with the properties to stay in touch. That's a real trick, is for your name and face to show up and then they don't think of anybody else. You're like the neighborhood expert. So that'll be my project, is to still add them as a lead in my CRM.
Telephone number 402-895-0682. Can't take your call right now. Please record your message.
And then in my data, when I input it, make sure that it's a distinguished, meaningful conversation lead that I put in that spot versus just somebody that was added. Because right now, the only way I can gauge if someone had a meaningful conversation is if I make them a lead in my CRM. But I want to put people in there that aren't necessarily quote unquote leads and are just prospects that now I can follow up with even more with the automated system. I have to think about that. Interesting.
Hello?
Yeah, is this Kent?
Yeah.
Kent, it's actually Bradley Godtel with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Ambassador Real Estate.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Kent, I want to make sure this is correct first. Do you still have a property on South 177th Circle?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've been moving people in and out of there quite a bit lately. It's just been a really good spot for us personally. Have you guys ever had thoughts about selling?
Yeah, we're already actually working with a realtor.
Oh, you
We're
are?
ready to do something, yeah.
I
So
got
we're working with Jeff Ellsbury.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen the name out there.
Okay.
So that's a reputable person for sure. Okay. Well, yeah, as long as you guys are taken care of, that sounds great. When do you guys plan on selling? I have some buyers that are trying to get into that neighborhood.
Yeah, we're thinking probably within the next month or so, yeah.
Oh,
We're
wow.
getting close to getting it listed.
Okay. And is it okay, I'm just making notes for my buyers because it's a popular neighborhood and we try to get in, if we can get a tip like this before, it saves you and I all the hassle of doing all that stuff. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the basement finished, Kent?
Yes.
Basement's finished. Okay. And then I'll look it up, but it just helps if I get it here. Do you know when the house was built by chance?
Yeah, 1996.
1996. Okay. Have you guys been there that whole time?
Yeah, we were the original owners. So.
Okay, good. Good. That makes it even better usually. So it's kind of like one car owner versus you buy a car and it's got three, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
We've taken good care of it. We just haven't done a lot of upgrades as far as,
Okay.
woodwork and stuff like that, but it's all in good shape. So,
What was that realtor's name again?
Jeff Ellsbury.
Ellsbury. That's right. Ellsbury. I recognize the last name.
Yeah.
Jeff Ellsbury. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I might give him a holler if anybody has an interest, and maybe we can help you guys out. So, but I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you
sounds
for
good.
taking the time to share that with me.
Okay. Yep. You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
No, for real. It's so competitive on the buy side that if you don't get ahead of these like that, you almost don't stand a chance. I'm gonna send them my info anyway. Just details about me. That's it. But I should make a note of this. Not sure I can put that. Let's see. Copied. Make a note here. Put it in my, I don't know what to call this. Daily Intel notes. If you're not using Google Sheets for things, you're really missing out. You're really missing out. Auto saves everything into a cloud, so you never lose anything. Everything's updated immediately. It's freaking great. So I have a daily notes pad thing now that I've decided to do that. It's really helpful. Just kind of reference that for things that I need to follow up on or do that are a little bit more miscellaneous. But I definitely want to follow up on this if I can and get somebody a house there. I should have asked what the list price would have been. Contact. So it's taken us an hour and 25 minutes to get to 105 phone calls, 16%. Records, I think 17 have been meaningful conversations. So we are almost halfway.
Hello?
Yeah, Cheryl.
Hello? Yes.
Hey, Cheryl. This is Bradley Godsell with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate.
What are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm waiting for the sun to pop out. It is Nebraska, so it could change any minute, right? Hey, I thought I'd give you a call. First, I want to make sure this is right, Cheryl. Do you still have a property on South 177th?
We do.
Okay. Well, we've just had a lot of people move in and out of that neighborhood. In fact, there's 30 homes that went up for sale in the last 60 days there. So we need to get a head start if we can. Had you guys had any thoughts about selling?
We did a couple years ago, but now we are going to definitely stay. We've done some improvements to our house, and we're now fixed.
I gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Well, if you found a place that works for you and you're like, I think we just might want to put that money into making it better for us. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yep.
How long y'all been there?
Gosh, 21 years.
21 years. Yeah. Have you seen a lot of turnover in the neighborhood?
A little bit over that time frame, yes.
Yeah. it's been wild here lately. That's why we're trying to get a little head start is, man, if we even know somebody's thinking about it or whatnot, we just have a whole list of buyers. We're like, all right, here's where we're at. Would you even consider, this much or whatever, but as
Yeah,
well,
don't anybody is looking at moving right now. We had all of our transfer people from the DUP and stuff already, and ConAgra all transferred out already. So.
oh yeah, I remember when that was going on. Man, that was a huge deal. I cannot believe they moved everybody out of here. Like, geez. And I had a guy who worked there, and he said it was really just the CEO wanted to have it closer to home because he's up in Chicago, or I think that's where it went. So silly. But.
Yeah, rough deal.
All right. Well, hey, I've got my notes updated for you. Is there any questions I can answer as a realtor before I get off the phone?
I don't believe so. Thank you.
Absolutely. Cheryl, you have a wonderful day, okay?
Yep, you as well.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Don't have an email. I don't know. There might have been a better way to go about that, but I'm starting to feel like I'm losing my mojo a little bit. Mojo dialer, losing my mojo. So I'm going to actually hop off the phone, which I was planning on getting off at 1:30, and I've extended it, but.
Mikhail.
Yeah, Mikhail, this is Bradley Godtell, Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to make sure this is correct first. Do y'all still have a property on South 177 Circle?
Do I have what?
A property on 177 Circle still?
Yes, I do.
Hey, that's just the reason for the call. Greg, we've just been moving people in and out of there. I'm sure you've seen the signs. And so we need to get ahead of the game if anything was planning on happening. Did you guys have any thoughts of selling?
No, and I use a different agent, so I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Okay. As long as you're taken care of. All right, so we got nothing there. Great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause my session, contact, and looks like we're all wrapped up. Stop. So it was an hour and a half of calls. I only made 108. That means that I had a lot of conversations. They didn't lead to appointments. I had one pretty good one that was 2 weeks from now. We're going to follow up. That sounds actually pretty good. People will say 3 years just to kind of put you off, but if they look at the numbers, it usually gets cut in half is what we found. And so that's that. Hopefully you got something out of this. Leave your comments of anything productive below, if you could, and any critiques. That would be awesome. Again, critiques on things that work, not what you think would work. Don't get your advice from people that don't have the results, right? So provide advice if you know it's better. And I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much.